Hello, adventurers, travelers, and friends. Welcome to Braggworthy Adventures. I'm your host, Rose, and today we're going to talk about tips for the TSA. I have traveled a lot throughout my life. As you know, I kind of gave you my little resume in my very first video, but I go through the TSA and I go through it quick. As my husband says, I have a normal walking pace and I have an airport walking pace. And my airport walking pace is serious. That's like Olympic level walking pace. Because I have some travel anxiety and I don't want to miss my flight. I want to get in there and I want to see my gate. But sometimes I end up very frustrated in the line waiting to go through security because some people don't know what they're doing. Now, I can't blame them if they don't know. Some people, though, I feel like should know. So, I'm gonna help raise awareness on what you do in that line to get you through fast so that there's not someone standing behind you tapping their last season Prada shoes at you, honey. So, I wanna give you some tips and pointers on how to get through the TSA security line fast, easy. Tip number 1, just for fun, you see this shirt right here? Do not wear it. See all these beautiful little bedazzled things? All of these are gonna show up when you go through the x-ray machine. When you stand like this, and it goes, and you come out, and their little screen shows your body and shows where there could be areas of issues, your whole chest is gonna become a touching ground for the TSA. So don't wear this shirt. Just a fun little story from my past. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Let's say you've never been through the TSA. I'm gonna try and describe this to someone who's never been there before. So if this is your very first flight and you're feeling nervous and you're like, I don't wanna look dumb, I wanna look like a competent, traveled person who knows what they're doing in the airport, I'm gonna make this video for you. Shout out to you. Number 1, you've got your ticket, you've checked your bag if you were going to check your bag, and now you're coming up to where they've got those lines, those little lined off area for security. Usually it's just like Disney World or any other amusement park or line where you just kind of have 2 options. It's like the fast pass line and everybody else. The fast pass line is also TSA pre-check, or they've got all these other ones like Clear Blue or some other crap. It'll always probably change, but they generally have one line for people who pay money to go faster and another line for everyone else. You should have your ticket out already before you get to security. Once you've checked your bag, or if you're not checking your bag, doesn't matter, have your ticket out, because the first thing you're going to do is have to show your ticket to usually an attendant who's standing in between the lines, and they will direct you. They'll say, go this way or go that way. They'll see the TSA pre-check, send you TSA pre-check. Sometimes they may send you TSA pre-check because they're feeling nice. Who knows? But you give them a little glimpse of your ticket. You don't have to hand it to them, but usually they just want to see it, they check it, and they tell you which way to go. So if you got your ticket out, you're already doing better than some of the people behind you. Once you get through the line, you generally have another attendant. So this attendant is going to check your ID and your ticket, or if you're traveling internationally, your passport and your ticket. So at this point, you need to have your ID out. I always take my ID out when I check my bag because they ask for it there, and I leave it out. I do not put my ID away until I'm through security because I'm gonna have to show it again. Or if I do put it away, I put it in the top pocket of a backpack. So have your ID and your ticket, give it to that attendant, and they scan your ID, they scan your ticket, they put an initial on it, and they give it back to you. This is not the time to pull out your wallet and put it back. This is the time for you to move your backpack, if you're wearing it, or your purse to the front, because you're gonna have to start unpacking your bag pretty quick. They have these bins. They have large square ones and some small circular ones. The small circular ones are if you don't have any big items, you just have stuff in your pocket, you dump it in the circle one. The large square ones, what you need to take out are a ziplock with any of your liquids, you need to take out your laptop or your larger electronics. I always take out food because the water content in food can make your bag get searched even though there's nothing in there. You need to take your shoes off and your jacket off. So sometimes those go in there, and I put my ticket and my ID in there. And you stay with your bag, okay? You don't just put your bag there and say, there's attendants about, they will move my bag. No one's gonna move your bag for you. So you need to stay with your bag and move it forward until it is on the conveyor belt. Once it's moving by itself on the conveyor belt, you may walk away from your bag and get in line to get either through the metal detector or the x-ray machine. Now, more likely, it's gonna be the x-ray machine. Now, in the x-ray machine, you generally have to stand with your legs apart and your arms like this. So you'll go up, you'll stand in a line, there'll be like a little mat right before you go into the x-ray machine. You'll stop at that mat. And then you'll wait till the attendant on the other side moves you forward. You'll put your hands and arms up like this, and if you're wearing, let's say you're wearing a long piece of jewelry, you throw it to the back. That is for you and for the TSA agent. If your thing is up here, then they've got to rub your front, and that's a little more awkward. If your thing's on your back and it shows up on the machine, they just rub your back real quick. Nice little back rub. So make sure when you go in there, they'll probably tell you, but if you want to look extra savvy, you walk in there, you flip it to the back, and you put your arms up like you're at a party. And then once you're through, you stand on the little footprints on the mat on the ground, and they wait for the screen to show your results, and they tell you if you could go. If you can't go, usually they'll pat you down. Hopefully they're supposed to use the back of their hands, I think. I don't know, I don't get patted down a whole ton, but that is when that would happen. One of the biggest tips I can give for TSA is prepare the night before. It seems strange. It's just going through security. Do I really need to do that much preparation, right? That's probably what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, but this is my guess. Yes, it is super helpful if you pack your carry-on bag in a certain way, and if you prepare yourself for security the night before. This is how you prepare yourself. Number one, you make sure all the liquids that are in your bag can fit into a quart-sized Ziploc bag, and that none of them are over 3 ounces. If they are over 3 ounces, they are getting chucked. If they don't fit in a Ziploc bag and you don't have a Ziploc bag, they are getting chucked. Do you want those items to get chucked? Probably not. Also, don't bring a snow globe. That's gonna get chucked. That's water. Anything liquid that is over than 3 ounces and not in a Ziploc is gone. So the night before, you make sure that everything that you're gonna take with you on the airplane is under 3 ounces if it's a liquid and fits in a Ziploc. The next thing you do is make sure that items you don't need to get to until after security are at the bottom of your bag, and items that you need to get out at security are at the top. It is more than helpful. I always do it, and I always feel like it makes me feel ready to go when I'm in that TSA security line. Last thing, let's say you've been through the x-ray machine or the metal detector, you already pushed your items onto the conveyor belt and they went through themselves. Now you're on the other side, you're going to get your items from the end of the conveyor belt. What do? I'll give you a multiple choice. Do you put your shoes back on right there at the conveyor belt? A is for yes, B is for no. Go ahead, put your answers below. Time's up. No, no, no. People, no. Come on. Why do you think you'd want to put your shoes on when everything else is jumbling out of the conveyor belt and pushing you further and further down and people are trying to squeeze by you? That's not the time to tie your shoes. Here's what you do. You put your easy to pack items in, right? So you already packed your bag strategically, so you slip that laptop back in, you put that bag right on top, you take your ID and your ticket, don't forget those, and you put that on top of your bag too, just real quick, zip it up, grab your shoes, and move over to the benches. The benches at the end of security are not there for decoration. They are there to help you get out the way and get your shoes back on and get your bag settled. Once you're at the The bench, that's the perfect place to rearrange your bag. Let's say now you're like, okay, I'm not gonna need that bag of liquids for a while now. That's when you put it at the bottom, move your sweatshirt to the top. That's when you pull out your wallet and put your ID in, and that's when you put your shoes on. Always listen to the attendants is a great tip. The attendants work there. They do this for hours on end. They know what's gonna end up making you get pulled to the side or get your bag searched through. So if they say, take this item out of your bag, leave your shoes on, take your shoes off, probably a good idea to do what they say. There's just some tips for your TSA experience. Hopefully they make you look like a TSA genius and make your first flight, your second flight, your 150th flight a little easier. As always, thank you for watching, and bye travelers.